but also a venture capitalist in his own right. Brett, do you want to say anything about that?
Hey all, thank you so much for coming. I've definitely the best looking crowd I've ever seen in our office. I run a C-stage venture capital firm in New York. It's called Charge VC. We've been in business for 10 years, invested in over 100 companies. We did the pre-seed rounds for Clay, maybe you've heard of that, the marketing automation company, or Fireside AI, it's the leading video model out there right now, and 100 other great companies. And we incubated Fonzie AI out of the fund. And so this is Fonzie's office. They let me sit here and hang out. So really excited to see all of you working on it. I am happy to report that we just doubled our internet capacity. So I don't want to fly the mission accomplished flag right now because I see a lot of hardcore coding going on here. But I will say, one thing now that it's really easy, that AI is coding for us, it's more important to think ahead and do more specking. So maybe you can think of that as, the first half of the day was about planning the attack, and the second half of the day is about coding it. But anyway, thank you so much for coming, and then I'll let Ali give a quick bio on himself.
Thank you, Brett. He's right, by the way. I guarantee if you spend an hour playing before vibe coding, it'll go better. My name is Ali. Super nice to meet you guys. I'm an engineer here at Fonzie. I recently joined. Before this, I was working on a very similar startup, so I've been thinking about recruiting, AI, agents, and most definitely vibe coding is all I do every day. We call it engineering, but it's vibe engineering, It's enough. But yeah, super nice to have everyone here, and I hope you all start cooking with the Wi-Fi.
Fantastic. Can we all give them a round of applause for being here and taking their time out? Very special. All right, let's kick it off here. So, Brett, this question's for you. What trends are you seeing across AI, data, and tech startups right now? Which areas of AI feel most promising? Which may be a bit overhyped?
That's a $1 trillion question right there. First off, as a VC, saying that you're doing something in AI is no longer, a competitive advantage or differentiator, right? Saying you're using AI is like saying you're building a mobile startup or using the internet, right? Everyone is using AI, obviously. I think, what's exciting is that it's just completely permissionless now. Anyone can get an idea and build it and have a working prototype in a couple days, regardless of how much technical training you've had. So what I will say is that has raised the bar, right? For when I used to get pitch decks, and 10 years ago, someone would send me a pitch deck, I had a good idea, and they would be raising, their first $500,000 to $1 million to, hire some engineers and build a working prototype, right? But, that doesn't cut it today. If someone sends me that pitch deck, I don't even look at it because I'm saying, well, okay, come back when you have a working prototype. Anyone can do it. So I would say, in general, the bar is raised, but that's not a bad thing because your end goal shouldn't be raising capital. Your end goal should be building something that users want.
Delighting customers. Awesome. Okay, Ollie, this one's for you. When you look at the landscape right now, what roles are you seeing companies most hiring for? That people can keep an eye out, maybe think about those skill sets. What skills are becoming most valuable from an AI perspective? When they think about their time to invest in those tech skills, where should they be investing?
Cool, great question. There's a lot of areas to invest in engineering right now. I think it's very wide. I think when I talk about product engineering, that's just what I know best and what I've done the most of. I think today in engineering, the hot word is product, right? I think everyone should be working closer to product, and I think everyone should start thinking about the product skill set a lot more. Today, right, we're all coding with Lovable, right? None of us are gonna write any code today, but all of us will release software today. And all we're gonna do all day really actually is think about products, right? And think about who is this product serving? What is the actual pain point the user is running into? What habit do I want to create in my product, right? What I want it to look like. And yeah, that's never been more relevant than ever. So I think today, like, I would really work on user empathy. I would work on communication, like cross-org communication, right? Because the way I see engineering changing a lot is like we're going to work a lot more closely with products. And a lot of the best engineers and most sought-after engineers, like honestly, on Fonzie that we work a lot with are product engineers. They're folks who can go and explore the problem with the user, lay it out on their own what the solution should be, and then build it from scratch, right? And I find that trend to increase. And so, yeah, like I think if you're already a great engineer and you know a lot about code, get into user empathy, get into asking questions, get into writing good, clear documentation on the problem you want to solve and how you're going to solve it. And I think if you're in product and you've been doing that your whole career, I think you're, like that's awesome actually. I think that's what we need the most of right now. And I think prototyping with things like Lovable is a way to more clearly communicate the ideas you have to your engineering team. And something we're seeing in our team right now, right? Everyone's vibe coding, whether they're an engineer or not. There are more things being built than ever. And if someone who's not an engineer, they're vibe coding something and they're using it, we're using that as like an extremely thorough and clear prototype for what we should build where engineering does pick up this thing. So I see that trend increasing. And so yeah, TLDR, user empathy, listen, and be solving a real problem that is a real pain point for your users. And I think that will take you the furthest it's ever taken you now, because you don't need an engineer to build really anymore.
Fantastic response, Ollie. Okay, Brett, so everyone here in this room, we are building today and we're shipping today. Maybe an MVP, but still we're shipping today. So my question to you is around distribution, right? With product-led growth, opportunities exploding, what do go-to-market strategies look like today? What does selling look like today? It isn't as if there's one single marketplace like, say, Amazon, to go find all these great products and solutions. What do you recommend for the SheBuilders in this room to think about when they think about, okay, now I want to monetize? Like, where do they go?
So in the same way that AI is now handling the execution of building product, the most advanced go-to-market teams are using AI to go to market. And so, I mentioned I invested in Clay, which is kind of the premier go-to-market software. They invented the term go-to-market engineer, which is essentially an engineer that, before you used to hire 20 BDRs to write emails to potential customers and set up meetings. Now you hire one go-to-market engineer who uses technologies like Clay to send, thousands and thousands of personal emails and set up as many meetings as that team of 20 engineers. So, maybe use a go-to-market engineer to set up meetings if you're doing B2B. If you're doing something consumer, then the name of the game is content. And so you may have noticed there's a bunch of gentlemen running around this room with taking videos, creating content for Fonzie and Lovable. The sort of gold standard as a consumer company right now is to create reams and reams of content. I'm talking about two videos a day, post it to every social channel, and basically use AI to scour the internet, identify the hottest hooks and the best trends, translate those using LLM, scrape the script from the best performing videos, take those scripts, have an LLM translate those scripts to basically use your product, use video models like Higgsfield to speak those scripts and turn it into video, and then distribute 20 videos that just copy the best hooks in the same day. So whether using AI for building product or using AI to go to set up B2B meetings or using AI to create content, that's the name of the game.
That's awesome. So just to summarize what we've heard so far, Brett, you kicked us off thinking, when thinking about a pitch deck or when thinking about going for money, it's no longer about this great idea that I have in this problem space and, here's the market intelligence. Today it's about showcasing a prototype, a working prototype, delivering that you've done that user empathy discovery, you've been on the call with customers, perhaps you have paid customers at this point, or at least you have users. And then Ollie, we heard from you as far as skills that you can develop from both sides. It feels like if you're in engineering, think about those softer skills that maybe product has. If you're in product, think about some of those, say, technical skills that engineering has, because the end goal is that the two are now collaborating really tightly. Doesn't mean there needs to be overlap and everyone needs to be doing what each other does, but it's time to level up on both sides. And then, Brett, you kicked it off with thinking like, well, there are these really awesome tools already out there to go to market, but I also asked you, like, it's not as if there's some marketplace, but you said there is, and it's social. So now, maybe think about your distribution strategy as, which social platform do I need to go to? Think about who is my ideal customer profile, where are they, when are they on that platform, and do it that way, twice a day. So that's great. I think, so maybe we'll just end it here. This is a really hard question, but it was something like, what do you see, where does the future lead us? And that's really hard because change is happening so fast. It's hard to think about what's even going to happen next month. Some experts have said that 2026 is really about orchestration. If 2025 was about look at these tools, like get to know them, 2026 is like how do we bring all these tools together so they can work together, and then we can build even on top of that. Like, where does that go? And I'll just stop there. Yeah, Ollie, do you want to do that?
Sure. Where does it go? I guess like simple answers, like we will all just do more, and there will be more expected from all of us.
Amazing. Can you repeat that? Because I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of angst about disruption and change, but what I hear you saying is actually there's opportunity out there, and we just need to like.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I would not be scared. I would be very excited because essentially whatever you can already do, you can do 10x better, right? Just immediately with any of the tools. I know that like AI is really big on coding right now. I think it's going to expand to other things, but I don't think there should be any fear. I think there should be excitement. I think there is this reality though that as an individual you are expected to produce more, and I think that's fine because we can do more in such a little amount of time, right? And so I think that's like the easiest way to describe the future, right? It's like you're just going to be expected to do more things. And I don't think it's a bad thing because we've essentially turned into cyborgs, and now we're all Iron Man, and we can do pretty much whatever we want, right? So we should be excited. We should be looking forward to it. And yeah, you mentioned orchestration. I do think orchestration is like something at Fonzie when we're developing products and we're thinking about our operations and how they're expanding. Like we're thinking about orchestration. We're thinking about how can we get like one AI to tell a bunch of other AIs what to do. I do think that's a pattern that, when done correctly, is extremely powerful. But yeah, just try to do more, take it step by step, and don't get too lost in the trends. Like again, just make something that people want and people think is useful in any way, literally, and you will be on the edge of this wave.
More is more.
More is more. Well, that's so great. So that's a nice segue into Fonzie AI. If people in this room are interested in learning more about Fonzie AI, what are some important things that they should know? So if they're maybe in the job market right now, seeking their next big thing, and they're here today, leveling up, like they're doing that hard work, they're the talent, how can Fonzie AI help match them to their next? I heard about this match day thing you have going on. It sounds really fun. Reminds me of my best friend matching for med school, which sounds less fun than your match day. But can you tell some applicants a little bit about that?
Yeah, we'll make the sales pitch as painless as possible. Basically, Fonzie AI is a managed marketplace that connects AI engineers with the companies building the future of AI. So what we do is we're rolling up recruiting firms on the back end and tech enabling them, and then we expose that to sort of hot scale-up Series A, B, C AI companies like Suno or Graphite, which just became part of Cursor, which you may have heard of. Sorry, I won't say that, but as soon as Lovable starts hiring for us, Formation Bio, Tenor, these are all companies that have raised hundreds of millions of dollars from, Andreessen Horowitz, Lightspeed, Sequoia. And what happens is that we basically, every week, our teams of recruiters are recruiting. We host events like this. We have a meetup group called AI Engineers, where we have ICs from Databricks, Google DeepMind, come in and present how they use AI. So we do that every month in this location in San Francisco. And we basically take all those folks, we distill it down to anywhere from like 50 to 75 of the most elite engineers in the market. And then we connect them, we put them in front of those companies, and then those companies basically send offers to those engineers. So if you're a really top-flight engineer, you can come into Fonzie, and in 15 minutes, you can have 10 to 12 job offers from some of the best companies in town. So, that is for kind of the elite, top 1% engineers, but our vision is to essentially be everyone's recruiter. And so Ali actually has been building this really dope agent that basically will text you and be your essential career coach, constantly trying to figure out, what is the best job in the market for you, what's the coolest thing you've built. If you built something here today at the Lovable event, you would tell Fonzie about it, and then that would instantly be connected into your professional profile, and we'd be finding jobs for you that match, what you're interested in building in. And so, we're trying to be that resource for everyone. And so if you know any of those, really top engineers that are looking for new gigs,